was planned. We can dive deeper as we go, if that's okay. Lorna, if you wouldn't mind, would you be comfortable introducing yourself or
Yeah, sure. So I've been teaching computer science for about 12 years. I've been teaching AP for about 12 years.
okay.
And I was an engineer
Oh, nice.
for 15. Yeah, started that way. I was a double math computer science. And then I've been teaching for 16 years,
Okay.
but I started with math.
Same.
And and that was a phone call. Like I didn't even know who called me. Like I just
Yeah.
got a phone call. Heard you had a math degree. And that's how it all started. And
Yeah.
I just happened to be at home at the time, taking care of my youngest, who was not a well child. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I tried it and loved it.
Right.
And then the computer science teacher left. I'm like, yes, this is my bag. And
Oh,
I've
wow.
been
So you were in engineering and then got the call to just come and teach math
Yeah.
somewhere.
Well, I was in engineering, but I had a sick child.
Right,
So
right.
after 15 years, left engineering to stay home with the child to take care of her.
I see. Okay. And
And
then,
then got the phone call and she was
yeah.
better. So it gave me
Okay.
that opportunity to explore again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
think so. I was math and then I did CS minor and started teaching math. And then a few years in, I joined part of a grant, CS for Alabama. I'm actually in Alabama. And just really found the world of computer science and
Yeah.
teaching it. And it was along when you said you were teaching AP. Do you do CSA and CSP or just one or
I've
the
done
other?
both.
Okay.
In Nashua, which is an inner city school, they have two high schools, large high schools.
Mhm.
I taught both. And then I continued teaching it at Hollis Brookline, which is the last school. And now I'm at a third school because we
Okay.
moved to be closer
Okay.
to our grandchildren.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and now I'm introducing it back into their school. They didn't have it.
Nice.
So me as a math teacher with the CS background was like, oh my gosh, this is huge. Let's
Right.
grab her kind of
Right.
thing. So,
Excellent. Well,
but I
oh,
will tell you, it's been a struggle getting back into math
yeah.
because as a CS teacher, everybody loves you.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to take your class.
Right.
As a math teacher, no one really likes you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
I
the world's worst person.
right. I I felt that and I feel like it's hard because at least in the schools that I taught at and the math teachers that I know, the the state testing and these things are like the constraints that we have to play in. And it's like, no, we could make math fun. Like we could take time
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
really show some re meaning behind this, which I think computer science does great. You know, like that's the whole thing, like the applicability. But then
right.
we get back in the math classroom and it's like, we got to get through all this stuff. We got to get through all this stuff.
So
And
much curriculum.
yeah, right. And it's I've
Yeah,
I've said since I've seen the light or went over on the CS side, like things need to change. Like
yeah,
we can't keep like trying to beat the quadratic formula into students when like we could be teaching them to like make a program that
right,
does the quadratic
right,
formula to really
right.
understand why all these components are coming together. So I feel yeah, I think there is definitely a need for major system overhaul, but I guess we could just do a different session on that because we could probably talk a very long time on that one, to be completely honest.
Well, I will share this with you. My first AP with computer science principles was using Mobile CSP.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Good.
the first one. And I went to a lot of the MIT workshops
Yeah.
because it was convenient for me. I lived like 45 minutes from MIT. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah,
So this is probably a perfect session then for you because I don't know if you were able to look at materials or anything beforehand, but we built Alexa in Space based on are using MIT App Inventor. And so a lot of this will be an excellent like not reintroduction, but like just a good tangent that you can go off of uh with mobile CSP. All right, so let me then, I'm going to start jumping into presentation mode. And let's see. Uh, all right, share screen. Oh, I can't share screen yet.
All right, let me get you that here.
I'll turn my mic off.
Oh, no, you keep your mic on.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'd rather just this be a conversation or like dialogue,
Okay, sure.
us go through and have fun with it. I was a little stressing yesterday because I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna pack all this in. I don't know who's gonna be there, and I haven't really taught this content in a complete virtual setting before, so this
Oh,
is a
good.
great, yeah,
Good
like
test for you then. Good.
right? Let's do
Yeah.
it again kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
Did it pop in now for you, Justin?
let's see. Share screen. Yep, got
Okay.
it.
Just got to make me host before you leave.
Okay.
Oh, let me
Will
share
do.
something with you that I just did.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Brad, don't go. Let me share something with you. Okay, the eclipse, we were that part of the world that got the full eclipse.
Oh,
So,
really?
yes. So the engineering teacher, they do have an engineering teacher, but he mostly does like shop stuff with big, huge machine, like wood kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But he for the first time he created a bot. He bought the equipment for it. It was a Harvard University prototype that you could download all the directions from and buy the equipment and put it together, which he did. He didn't know how to do the software, so he contacted me. I downloaded all the software.
Oh, that's neat.
So what we did, we set up the telescope with it connected to it, the bot connected to it. And for our vision impaired students and teachers or whoever, we're able to hear the sound that an eclipse might make.
Oh, wow.
As the light was dimming, the sound would get softer. And then as the light came back, it got louder. So yeah, it was really cool.
That's
It was
incredible.
very cool.
What what's this what was the kit called?
I can't remember what the kit was called. I have to look it up, but
No, that's okay.
um
If
it
you think about it, that's like a story of like accessibility and
yeah,
you
equity
know,
definitely.
yeah, including
Yeah,
students. Oh
yeah.
man, that is a
Yeah, but then I
that's a
heard
good one.
about because my family went up north in more in almost 100% eclipse
Yeah.
part of the country up north, which is like 2.5 hours north, and there was a mobile driving around, so some kind of vehicle that was actually had braille
Hmm.
attached to their bot, and so so if someone were vision impaired, they could feel the change on
Oh
braille. Is that wild?
goodness.
That to me, that was like even better.
Yeah. That
But
is
the cool thing about the sound was that everyone got to hear it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because I
That
had
would
the
be
speakers
good.
going. But here's something interesting. So I also was recording it, but
Uh-huh.
on an old magnetic tape recorder.
Right?
Well, at some point, some magnetism, I don't know what happened magnetically, but it stopped working. And
Oh.
then when the eclipse was gone, it started working again. So something magnetic was going on.
Oh gosh, that would be something to I would dig way too deep into that. Like I'd go down these rabbit holes of like trying to figure out what interstellar things were
Right.
happening with this eclipse, which it's I ran across a video the other day though of like how eclipses are not as rare as we think they are. It was just like this, and they have like charts of and all these different measurements that I had not heard of before, like a SOLA or I don't, there was
Well,
different
and
measures.
Haley's beads, we actually got pictures of that,
Yeah. Okay.
which
Okay.
is very unusual that
Right.
because you only get it with the
Right.
full eclipse. And then the
Okay.
diamond ring, there were
Yeah.
pictures of that. Yeah.
Wow. That's so
Yeah, it was
cool.
pretty cool.
Oh, all right. I'll add that to the list of things to dig down and not not focus on things. But so to jump in to AI and mobile CSP, Alexa goes to space. This presentation or this workshop, that's me, and I'm a learning experience designer, Northern Lights Collaborative. We're housed at the University of Minnesota. And basically, I work with teachers, students to make learning learning materials, professional development, fun stuff, do trainings, all those things. So our agenda for today, just talk a little bit about why Alexa in space, what the background was to create this set of lessons, really jumping into what is AI, accessing student or being able to access the student materials that exist. We're going to do a lesson or scavenger hunt, but we'll see, how that turns up. And then to be able to access the version of MIT App Inventor with Alexa skills, there's a sign up process, which is not tedious. It just needs to be done, and it's somewhat automated. So there's no risk in that, I guess. And then getting to the teacher materials, then questions and answers. So is there anything that you specifically would want to see or anything that's not on the list that, or we
Anything
can,
mathematical you have, I would
yeah,
love to see.
okay,
Yes,
all right, we can,
because I'm doing honors right now with
yeah,
geometry, which I put in for again next year.
okay.
And right now I'm teaching, which isn't done a lot anymore. I'm
Mm-hmm.
teaching proofs, which is
Oh, yeah,
great setup for
right.
looping and conditionals.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Awesome.
That would be
So,
interesting to look at.
and I do have a lab next door to me, and
Yeah,
I have a really great IT team, which is unusual also in New Hampshire.
right.
It's extremely unusual to have a good IT team at the high school. And they're great, and I can get pretty much anything I want. So
Wow. Yeah, we can
I
dig in
could,
definitely towards the end. I know of a few math resources, some that may need to be modified depending on context or anything else, but I'd like to hear more about the proofs and how you're gonna play that in. But we'll parking lot that because
okay,
I want to make sure we get through the presentation part for those that want to watch the recording, and then we can have fun at the end.
okay.
So, learning goals. Participants will leave with access to free online Alexa in Space curricular unit that lasts about 4 to 5 days. Also, lesson plans, student materials, and then practical tips for implementing in their classroom. So, we created this set of lessons a couple of years ago with partnering with Amazon Future Engineering or Amazon Future Engineers, which is still a project and program. I think in the recent year, they've
Yeah.
shifted directions slightly. And
What
so
do you mean by shift directions?
they, I know we're looking at creating more content or partnering with more to build out their offerings. I think they're scaling back a little bit, especially with the influx of AI and like money matters at Amazon and those kind of things. So didn't get too much details. I just know that we were working very closely with them, and then there's been some distance. So they could be going to space. I don't know. Who knows? But what came out of it was we did be able to get um, a pretty robust set of lessons, and then an iteration that this set that we're going to talk about today was used in Hour of Code in 2022 and have just been available for anyone that wants to use them. The first set we had was more in line with integrating within the mobile CSP curriculum, and then trying to look at like how we could basically take units and kind of shift them to have maybe a Alexa skill flavor instead of an MIT or an app inventor flavor. But we kind of have that one on the back burner, looking at how potentially some changes are coming with CSP in the next couple of years and CSTA standards. Yeah, we're just kind of staying static for a little bit of time. I did want to show this video. This is one of the last videos in the set of lessons. But it was neat because we actually got to work with Amazon Future Engineers, and like we developed the script together, and we created this video simply for this set of lessons, and it was just a neat process. And so I always just love showing it. So let's see and make sure the sound works. We hear sound?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Good morning, Alexa. What's the status?
All systems are green. You have been asleep for 458 years, 3 months, 21 days, and 7 hours. It is time to eat. Would you like me to prepare breakfast?
Yes, please. What's on the agenda for today?
You have a meeting with the other crew members to go over experiment number 5471. Then you have a spacewalk to do maintenance on the ship's hull.
Sounds like a big day. We better get started. Alexa, we need more data on subject 12. Can you please pull up the file?
Of course.
Interesting. Alexa, could you run a simulation of what would happen if we increase the amount of oxygen by 30%?
The results of the simulation show that there is a high likelihood of success.
Excellent. Alexa, please update the experiment to reflect the new data.
Updating now.
Alexa, how much time do we have left?
You have been working for 2 hours and 23 minutes. You have scheduled a break in 1 hour. Would you like me to remind you?
Yes, please. And could you please turn on the spotlights? We need more light out here.
Turning on spotlights now.
Alexa, we're going to need more oxygen for this next spacewalk. Could you please order it from Earth?
The order has been sent to Earth. Would you like me to recommend other products from Earth to add to this shipment?
No, thanks, Alexa. I'm heading to bed.
Good night, Commander.
Good night, Alexa. Thank you so much for your help today.
You're welcome. Sleep well.
So that was the hold up. There we go. That was the video that we came up with together. And it was neat. And I also found out how expensive good animation is. Because at first I went with them, and like I had all these ideas and this like drafted script, and like all like different voice actors go in, and I was like, this is gonna be fun and easy to do. And then the project lead over there was like, okay, we have to pull back, because what you're talking about, like $50,000 to like produce like a 5-minute video with several voice actors. I was like, goodness, I did not know. So we reeled it back in. That was the result, which I still think is absolutely incredible. But it was neat. And then also I think the like, do you want us to recommend other products? It's a very like Amazon thing to do, to like show that they're still part of business, and they will continue to just recommend other products based on what we want. So yeah, that was like I said, a very fun adventure.
Interesting.
Next we're gonna jump in. What is AI? Lauren, you're probably pretty familiar with what AI is.
I've actually started using it.
Okay.
I use ChatGPT to create a rubric
Yeah.
for
Excellent.
a Disney themed mini golf obstacle course for my geometry students to measure volume and surface area.
Oh, I really like that. I found it very useful, especially in these times where, like, it sounds like taking Disney as a theme, taking like golf and geometry, and like our brains sometimes don't connect dots that quickly. But the fact that you could have this AI pull it and then say, oh, yeah, now I know these things and like edit as you need or like put
It was
this
a
stuff
lot of
together.
editing.
Yeah, right, right. It is.
But it gave me a starting place.
Yeah, that's where I really hope the future of where we're teaching AI in the classroom is. Like it's, at this point, not replacing humans, but it does give us like very fast access to information that our brains are just not fast enough or even knowledgeable enough sometimes to like put together as quickly.
Yeah,
And
and the cool thing about it is that it continues the process. So then I could do a command that said something like, okay, it's too wordy, make it less wordy. Boom,
yeah,
got another one. And
right.
then another one I said was, let's combine a few of the rubric. I forget how I said it, but,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it did that, and it tweaked it to the point where I thought, okay, now I can edit it.
Mhm. That's so
So
neat.
yeah, very
I'm
cool.
glad. Like, yeah. I
And I have to say, it's the best rubric I've ever put together.
I mean, but if you don't have to use all your brain energy in the
Yeah.
beginning to like form things together, and we can use our
Mhm.
brain energy towards the end to refine, like I think
Yeah.
that's where we continue to aim, especially as educators.
The other cool thing about it was that I didn't specifically say for like honors or general or, college prep.
Yeah.
But what it gave me was something that was so flexible that I could use it to grade in all three levels, and I had all three levels at the time.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was perfect. And all
Yeah.
the students I let them choose the theme in all three
Eh,
classes, pick Disney. So it worked out great.
Nice. That's very cool. So on this set of lessons, this is kind of the driving question. What is AI, and then how do you think AI could be used during space travel? That video is shown towards the end in the last lesson, and they basically are taking the skills that they've learned or built over the previous days to think up what a new Alexa skill would look like in space or program one that could work. And so from there, we talk a little bit about artificial intelligence. This would be the definition that we go with, which I still, well, this is high school. So this is a solid definition of simulation of human intelligence by machines. It's a process of programming a computer to make decisions for itself. Throughout this, we rely on the five big ideas in AI that AI for K12.org has put together. And it provides a good framework to kind of decipher what we're talking about when we discuss AI versus things that might just be AI-like, but not exactly fit a good definition, along with the emphasis on societal impact. I think that's a important one that it's coming more to light, but part of these sets of lessons talk about bias, especially in the second lesson, and dig into what biases look like. So, in this presentation, if we had tons of people, we'd be looking at determining if something was AI doing one of the lessons itself. And this is where we jump into the materials. So, Lorna, do you have access to this presentation by chance? Here, I'll throw it in the chat so that
Okay.
way. Because the links are there, and I guess I could throw the links in, but we're not going to do that. All right. Here we go. Let's see.
I was awarded future engineer from
Yeah.
Amazon my first year in Hollis Brookline, so about 6 years ago. And
Okay.
when I was awarded it, they wouldn't let me have it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was devastated. I'm
What
like,
did the
I
school
and I
just,
and I wrote the grant to get it. You know, you had to fill
yeah,
in a lot of, you had to really work at it to get
right.
that. Yeah, they wouldn't let me have it because
I,
it was Amazon.
oh,
But my point to them was, but you purchase from Amazon
right.
every
Exactly.
day.
Right.
All our orders go into Amazon and no, I don't,
That would be so
yeah.
frustrating.
And I wasn't given a determining decision. It was just, no, you can't.
Mm,
So, but they did let me have Code HS, so I took
yeah.
that, which
Sometimes
was
the hard
great. I
part
mean,
about
it
being in
worked.
the classroom is
Yeah, Code
everything.
HS did work really well, but you know what?
Yeah.
They blocked all the videos. So
Oh,
yeah,
oh, goodness.
they blocked a lot of the documents. So I had to download them myself and then upload them to Google Classroom.
Mm,
Yeah, it was, but
uh,
that's when you whitelist a whole school,
right. Yeah.
right?
That's that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I don't
Well,
have that problem
hopefully,
at this school.
I was gonna say, hopefully this will be one, not blocked, and two, available at the school. And so if on slide 11, I think that's where I'm at.
Okay.
If
I can
you click,
see that.
okay, if
I
you
can
click,
see it. I can't click on it though.
oh,
Because it's not, I'm just a viewer.
oh, oh, that makes
You
sense.
can throw it into the chat though.
Yeah, I
You
was
could
gonna
throw
say,
it.
let me
Oh,
throw
wait a
it.
minute. No, that's just, oh, did you put that in Google's presentation? Oh, you did. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, I can click on it now. Yeah,
Okay,
got it.
perfect.
Got it.
Just hoping
Okay,
I had the
sorry.
screen right. No, no,
Okay,
no.
yep.
All right. And so if we use a oh well, you're probably familiar with Runestone because if you've
Yeah,
used
yeah.
mobile
Mhm.
CSP, good stuff. And so you already have an account, which is great. Those that
Yes,
are
but my account was with Nash was so invalid
oh well,
anymore.
maybe we make a new account. Well, I was gonna say then let's go through the directions just quickly, and those that are watching from the recording. Basically, if you do not have an account, you'll receive ads. Students will receive ads. They're not horrible ads, they're just ads, and it gets annoying. And so this is the way to create an account if you're brand new to Runestone. Runestone is an ebook, interactive ebook type of site, open source, and pretty neat overall. Um, Clicking the little person and then clicking register will bring you to
Where are
this.
you at this point? Where
Oh,
do you want me to create an account at this point?
yeah, if you wouldn't
Okay.
mind,
So
if
where
you
am I clicking to do that?
so if you've clicked the here on slide 11, it should bring you over to
Um,
this
okay.
page.
11, hold on. Yep. Okay, I am on that page, the Runstone. Yeah, Amazon Future Engineer Mobile CSP. Yep.
Okay. And then if you want to click the little avatar thing at the top right, that'll bring a drop down. So you can
See,
click.
I don't have an avatar in mine.
Oh,
Interesting.
hmm.
Um, I have, let's see. Hmm, course, well, okay, there is an avatar. Okay, it's
Okay.
just a blank person.
Yep.
Course
Yep.
home, assignments, practice, peer. Yep, keep
Perfect.
going. So
And
log
then,
register.
yep, go to
Mhm.
register.
Yep, got it.
And then from there, you'll be able to do username, first name, last name, new email address, and then come up with a password. And then for course name, um, over on the right, you'll see open textbooks, and you're going to do the Alexa and space one. I'm going to sit tight till you fill out that stuff.
Oh, course name. Do I fill that in?
Yep, go ahead and put
Oh,
in Alexa and
mhm.
space. I think it's the second
Okay.
one under open textbooks.
Oh, it's not. Okay. Is it supposed to show me a list?
I thought so. Are you able to see my screen share still?
See, I think so. Yeah, I can. Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
Alexa. Okay, I can type that in. Alexa
Okay.
in space. I'll type it in.
Yep. All lowercase, no spaces, and that should be. And then you can click both. If you click create a course, it'll create an instance of this for you to assign students to it. We're not going to cover that in this presentation just because that can get a little bit more complicated. But we can definitely follow up if you have questions on creating student accounts and those kind of things.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I just get back to it. In space.
Did it let you get registered?
Well, they want you to pay.
Oh, no. I mean, you can you can donate if you want, but no, you can
Oh,
just
I
do
see. Sorry,
free.
not today.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
school. Should I University of Minnesota or should I do my high school?
You do your high school. I think that's fine.
I'll do my high school.
Some of that information they collect is they have an ongoing research project with Runestone itself. So some of that data they collect is about impact and those
So
kind of.
click on Alexa in space mobile CSP.
Yes, that
Yep.
should bring you to something that looks like this, maybe. What I'm
Okay.
screen sharing.
Oh, and then step 4. I go from that's step 3. Then I go down to step 4. Wow, they have a lot to choose from up there. Am I choosing in each category in step 3?
Oh,
Then there's computer science, Runstone Blue Book, to come to CS, Comp 1000, complexity, old version. Do I click on? No, I don't. No, I tried it. Okay. Good. Step 4, choose a name for your course. Skill for High School, that chose it for me. Require enable experimental pair programming features.
oh goodness.
Should I add that?
Sure. I think this is the part setting up the class. And so, yeah, these
Okay.
options can be changed later too. So it's not going to impact your
Yeah.
ability to view now.
Okay. There we go.
Yay. All right. So we are at it's probably the student view of the Alexa in space things. Is your screen similar to the one that I'm sharing now?
Let me see. That was the screen I was on.
Okay.
Okay, do you want me to go back to that screen?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, I can do that.
I'm actually gonna shift to the real version here. So we could talk through just a little bit of the lessons and stuff like that.
Let's see if I can get back to that screen. Yeah, I can get back to it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm there. Yep.
Yay. Okay, so the is it AI, the lesson or the little component thing that we would go through next is going to be in lesson 1, which there's a video that I need to fix.
Just go into student lessons.
Yeah, student lessons, and then if you go to lesson 1, and for those that are viewing the recording after
Yeah.
the fact, these lessons are set up very similar. We have the time estimate, we have goals, both learning goals and language goals, as well as an introduction. And then the activities kind of flow from there. These lessons are meant to be or these pages are meant to be student facing. So the students would see this and they can travel through them. The teacher materials also have slides as well as teacher lesson plans. So a lot of teachers, depending on how they have typically taught, they may, go through some of the information with the slides and have the students go back and forth, or have the students go through the materials and have discussions at certain points. Basically, we just try to allow for as much teacher flexibility within these lessons as we can. And so it's best to be able to customize your classroom how you would like. The Is It AI activity goes down probably midway.
Yeah, I got
And
it.
what students would do in this one is there's a few different examples, and this is a good like buddy up with a friend and talk about it. So first one is an example of AI. We have an automatic door, and there's it depends, no and yes. And automatic door, if you say, oh yeah, that's definitely AI, click check me. Well, it depends. Because automatic door was using facial recognition to operate, it would be an example of AI. It's just using sensors, then there's probably not an example of AI. I think the catch is that all of them are, it depends, which we're trying to push students to think a little bit more about what we just think of as AI. And so going back to the presentation, yep. And what I had planned next was a lesson scavenger hunt. I like doing these, especially when people are looking at new materials, because it's kind of a fun, like, oh, let me try to find this stuff. And as I'm looking for things, it there's like some other information that comes too, like which lesson introduces the term utterance. And so people would review the lessons trying to find, oh, utterance here. Maybe watch the video, maybe they didn't even know what utterance meant. And so they can, where's our, okay. So they can see what the definition is. And um, Lorna, would you like time to just review the lessons now, or do you want me to continue?
Oh, just continue.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So that's what would happen during lessons scavenger hunt, but we're going to go ahead and shift over to teacher sign up. So back on the presentation, Lorna, on slide 21, there's going to be another series of questions.
Okay.
This will basically
This link.
yep, create an account to get this Alexa Skills Inventor flavor of MIT App Inventor. Primary reason we have to do this is because the data collection and things that Amazon and Alexa do. And so basically, teachers signing up for this are indicating their students are over the age of 14, which is the legal data collection thing. All that is the background of this. And that's why it's not just open to anyone. But to create an account, and you don't have to create student accounts, you can just check these boxes, completing the registration. And I redid it last night because I wanted to see if it sped up or anything. It took about 10 to 15 minutes to get a verification email for me to get in for a user account. So I'm going to pause though, because I want you to go ahead and sign up so you can get access and we can take a look. And while you're doing that, I'm going to run and grab some water real quick.
Okay.
All right. Lorna, are you in by chance?
Yep, I am.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, I'm at the home welcome checklist.
Okay, good. I think you'll get that email soon. Not entirely sure.
I
Uh,
did get an email that welcome to Alexa's Skills and Mentor
oh,
program.
excellent. Yeah, that should be it. And then you'll verify and you'll be able to do username and
Yep, I did
password.
that. That's all done. And then I got the other email, which is lesson materials, training options. So I'm at that point where I'm already in Skills Inventor, Alexa Skills
Okay,
Inventor.
perfect. Okay, good. So we're gonna put a pin in that one. We'll come back and play around. I just
Okay.
want to show those watching and then you, of course, how to get to teacher materials because it's a little hidden and this link in this presentation will allow you to do it. But basically what we did was hid the teacher materials basically through an unpublished link. So going back to the presentation, if you click teacher materials, what this does is gets you into the like table of contents page that was not
Oh yeah,
not
lesson
accessible to
plans.
students. Not that there's like any we didn't create any tests or any assessments in this besides the formative quick checks.
Mhm,
But it does allow you to look at the lesson plans,
mhm.
get access to the slides, and then this was actually built for a professional development extended session training that we did with a lot of the pilot teachers. And so the training 0 and 1, that's going to be a little bit of what we just talked about. There's some reflections and surveys in there that are helpful, but kind of we're not collecting data on those things anymore. So that's not something to really worry about.
Okay.
So going down to lesson plan 1,
Mhm.
intro, this will give you kind of
Yep.
and you'll notice compared to, let's see, this is how we distinguish. So this background on this top here is this bluish purple, and we made this one like a greenish.
Greenish, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
More um well, galaxy looking. I don't know.
right. So you can bookmark these. That's probably the quickest way to get back to it. But here we're going to have the lesson plans, which are Google Docs. So if you click lesson plan, um, they're shared out. So you can see each of the slides and then kind of the prompts to go through, as well as some definitions. We have a reflection just in case you wanted to print it out and reflect. The lesson plans all look similar in their format. And then we also have the slides to go with them. So
Alexa,
that was a good video too. But like I said, depending on how the teacher you would want to set up your classroom and go through these materials, we've kind of tried to provide everything roundabout we can. One thing that I did want to point out real quick in the lesson plans is we tried this section about including all learners as just prompts for student or for teachers to ensure that they're implementing some UDL practices or universal design for learning practices or culturally responsive practices to make sure you're including all the learners in your classroom.
Okay.
Also in this page, we have the professional development reflection. Like I said, is the for what we did before when we were doing training. The biggest part of this page, though, is accessing the lesson plan and slides. So, and then up at the top, you can use to continue through. We do have tutorials in here, which are not, we went back and forth on including them in the student materials because we felt like sometimes teachers did rely too heavily on the tutorials instead of going through and learning how to explain the process of the program.
Okay. Sure.
But they definitely have on the teacher side of things the ability to watch the tutorial to figure out, you know, how to implement this with your students. And yeah, I think that's it. I know we got 3 minutes left, so I'm going to leave the rest of the time for questions or thoughts or anything else that you may have.
So Runstone actually runs the AP College Board material also.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
We,
So that's
we,
good
yeah,
because
we
that's
went
already
with,
approved.
right. We went with the same platform, because it was just a lot easier to build there. We had a lot of the content, the stuff done. And so, it made it just that much easier to quickly implement.
Is MIT still in charge of a mobile CSP?
So, fun
Did they-
story.
Okay.
So mobile CSP is so the organization I'm with, Northern Lights Collaborative, used to be the National Center of Computer Science Education, which created mobile CSP and used MIT App Inventor as the platform, like the environment. So the curriculum and materials were actually created with that being the platform. MIT App Inventor supports mobile CSP in the way of like creating updates or providing extra stuff, but it actually they didn't develop the curriculum.
Interesting. Because
Yeah.
the biggest problem that I had with mobile CSP, well, the MIT version of it was the simulator never worked properly.
Right.
Whereas like in Code HS, it works beautifully. And in code.org, it works beautifully. So
Mhm. I think part of what we've discovered is and I real quick, I posted link to our feedback form that I think maybe people get points for. I forgot how the thing goes. Brad, you may say more about that real quick. Do people get points for completing feedback forms?
I believe you get an entry into the drawings at the end of the day.
Okay, all right. So real quick, do the feedback form, and then I'll tell you what we've seen with, especially mobile CSP. Sometimes there's a lot of back end things that schools have set up. We were talking about like whitelisting before, and how some schools have pretty strict firewalls. That seems to be a lot of the issue that we have come up. It's just schools have things, and we can't get through the things because we don't have the infrastructure to work with every IT department.
mhm.
But that's most often the issue, but it could be everything else in between. Let's go ahead and stop the recording. Stop recording.